If you had any hopes that the mass shootings over this weekend would put pressure on politicians to do something about gun control, well, Donald Trump is here to tamper down your expectations a little bit. For instance, on the topic of banning assault weapons, here is what he had to say.
Well, I can tell you that there is no political appetite for that at this moment. If you look at, you could speak, you could do your own polling, and there's no political appetite from it from the standpoint of legislature, but I will certainly bring that up. I'll bring that up as one of the points.
Yeah, we'll talk about it and we'll look into things, and there's probably not an appetite, but maybe. Donald Trump, back during the last campaign, was talked about as he's a different sort of Republican. He's not, dogmatic in the way that they are. He might be different on healthcare and war and things like that, but he's also a gigantic liar, and there is very, very much an appetite for this particular sort of gun control. Let's take a look at a poll that was tweeted out by Joanna Piacenza, who shows that 7 in 10 voters overall support an assault weapons ban. 54% of registered Republicans support an assault weapons ban.
Well, there's no appetite among the corrupt politicians that represent the Republican Party because they have an appetite for checks. Cold hard checks coming from the NRA and gun manufacturers. That's what they have an appetite for.
Yeah, 2/3 of Republican women are in support of it, but that doesn't even merit real consideration by the president.
Yeah. So look, in a democracy, 7 out of 10 Americans wanting something would be a layup. But if we had a democracy, you'll hear me say it for the 1,000th time, federal background checks poll at 97%. We don't have them. We don't have them. No, Mitch McConnell blocked it in the Senate. Now get a load of the flip-flops of Donald Trump on this one. He says, we're going to strongly consider it after this shooting, right? But wait a minute, I thought he said that after the Parkland shooting. Oh yeah, he did. And then he said, oh no, these politicians are scared of the NRA. Not me, not me. He went and talked to the NRA and said, okay, I'm really scared of them. Turns out they give me a lot of money and I'm corrupt, so I'm not gonna do a damn thing. So which one was it? Hey, if you're a MAGA supporter, did you like Donald Trump who said he was gonna do something strong about background checks? Or do you like the Donald Trump who did nothing about background checks? Make up your mind, which Donald Trump do you like? So you say, oh, I'm offended that you call him a liar. But he said those two different things, so which Donald Trump do you like? You tell me. All right, then after this shooting, he goes, oh, just strong, we're gonna be very strong. And then he said, the reporter's asking, well, I don't know if there's an appetite for it. Now he says there's not an appetite for the assault weapons ban. For the other one, he's like, I've been talking to them for 3 days, trying to discern if there's an appetite. I said discern, he would never say discern. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. So we're gonna have that in a sec. But I want to combine this. He says no appetite for an assault weapons ban. So he's not going to consider, even though we know the polling's there. He supposedly cares a lot about polls and ratings. You would think that he would know this. But another Republican, Pat Toomey, was asked about this topic, and take a look at the way he responded to it.
My focus is on keeping guns out of the hands of people who should not have guns, people who have no legal right to a firearm. The guns that are described as assault weapons are almost invariably no more powerful than ordinary hunting rifles. They look different, they're painted black and they've got features that an ordinary hunting rifle doesn't have, but they're no more lethal. And
what about magazine size?
And they're extremely popular, and so to ban an extremely popular firearm, I'm not going to support that. That would be an infringement on the rights of law-abiding citizens.
That is amazing.
Wrong on 2 counts.
Amazing.
John, is it true that they're incredibly popular in the state of Pennsylvania where he's a senator?
I assume so, I don't know.
Yeah, so I looked it up. 68% would like to ban it in the state of Pennsylvania. Yeah. Ban it.
No, but that can't be because he said.
Right.
No, but here's the thing. So yes, obviously, the thing is they do sell, and whether they sell in Pennsylvania or not, they do sell, and the companies that sell them would like to keep selling them. They're popular in that respect. He's not saying let's not ban it because they're popular and I don't want to offend the sensibilities of those people. It's that he doesn't want to hurt the profits of the companies that are selling them.
Yeah, you know how many people in the state of Pennsylvania oppose a ban on assault weapons? Because he says it's a popular weapon, so I'm sure 90% oppose the ban, right? If it's that popular. Like food is popular, nobody wants to ban food, right? 27% oppose a ban.
Yeah.
Nah, not popular.
Also, I would throw
that's kind of the exact opposite of popular.
Yeah, not being shot, quite popular. I think in Pennsylvania too, actually.
Yeah.
But so, nationally at the very least.
But I just want to challenge the media here. So you guys think I'm rude when I say Pat Toomey's a liar, but I come at it with truth and facts. What do you come at it with? Political correctness? Well, it would be rude to accurately challenge Pat Toomey and say, you're lying about your own state. 68% of people in Pennsylvania want to ban assault weapons.
Yeah.
So why are you lying about it? Or do you just have it wrong? Can you please admit to us you're a bumbling fool and don't know your state at all? And that's at a minimum. The maximum is you know your state and you're a goddamn liar, and you're doing it because you're corrupt and you're taking checks from the NRA. But which one is it, Pat Toomey? Because what it isn't is accurate.
Yeah.
But will the press do that? No, they'll say it's rude to tell the truth. Don't tell the truth, it'll be rude. It'll offend the senator from the honorable gentleman from Pennsylvania. Oh, I'm so sorry that I'm giving offense. So I found the shooting in El Paso and the shooting in Dayton to be slightly more offensive, to say the least.
Yeah, well, just get ready for tomorrow. Headline, New York Times, no appetite for assault weapons ban.
Yeah, no, it says Pat Toomey, hey, accurate.
Or says Trump in this particular case, yeah. So do you want to move on to his visit today?
No, I don't. I'm not done beating them up yet. Okay. I have two more things to say about it, one on Toomey and one on Trump. So Toomey also said, well, look, hey, Americans' rights, they got rights. So luckily, I found the Second Amendment for you guys. It wasn't hard, it's the second one. And so I'm going to read it to you.
It's nice that they ordered them.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's talked about a lot, except nobody ever reads it. So I don't know if this is going to be considered rude to read the Constitution, but I'll do it for you. It says, a well-regulated militia. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. See, there's a qualifying part of that sentence that is never, ever, ever, ever mentioned, and enormously important. So let me ask you this way. Does anyone think that the mass shooters were a well-regulated militia? Well, if you're being honest, every single person would answer, no, they were obviously not part of a well-regulated militia, and they were certainly not necessary to the security of a free state.
Yeah.
Given that, they clearly did not have Second Amendment rights. And by the way, if you're not part of a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state, you don't have Second Amendment rights either, because the Second Amendment is about that. How do I know? I just read it. I just read it and you just heard it. But every single gun nut, right-winger conservative in the country will lie about the Second Amendment over and over. And it's kind of like those guys that are religious zealots too. They talk in circles. Well, Jesus could walk on water because water could receive Jesus, or Muhammad could see the fire from the burning bush and the thing, and so could Moses because the bush would burn only in front of Moses and Muhammad, right? So, well, I mean, since it says you have a right to bear arms because you're part of a well-regulated militia, but if you have guns, by definition, you're part of a militia because of a comma. What? No, plain English. You are not part of a well-regulated militia. You have no goddamn right to a gun. Oh my God, then how will I commit the massacres? Well, we'll have to sort that out later. But no, the Second Amendment does not say anything of the sort. If you don't trust me, go find a Constitution, find it online, find it in person, read it for yourself. And if you can speak English, first of all, if you can't, leave the country. If you can speak English, here you are. I'm just using conservative logic.
Exactly.
All right, so there it is, read the whole goddamn thing.
It's so long.
So long, Trump will never make it through.
God.
Put a picture in there, maybe he'll read it. All right, now back to Trump.
Bullet points.
Yeah, well, back to Trump. So then he says, okay, look, I'm talking about very strongly over the last 3 days, talking about the federal background checks. Except here's some part you missed. You threatened a veto of federal background checks. The House has already passed it. Mitch McConnell will not allow it for a vote. And Donald Trump says it doesn't matter if Mitch McConnell allows a vote in the Senate because I will veto federal background checks. God damn it, which one is it? Which one is it? Are you supporting the Donald Trump who says he's super strong on federal background checks? Or the one that says he'll veto federal background checks? And if you think he knows what he's doing, like, oh, it's a strategy, he's playing both sides. No, moron of the highest order, or maybe the lowest order. Like he probably, if you had an honest conversation with him, you're his buddy or whatever, hey Donald, you know you're the one blocking federal background checks. He'd be like, oh, no way, man. I mean, yeah, that's right, no way, what? What? Total idiot, doesn't know anything.
What? And the frustrating thing is that for the Democrats, all that they need to campaign on, if they want to campaign against Trump and the Republicans and what they've done and not done, has been written for them. Every single thing, every serious threat against the American people, the Republicans are actively disarming the federal government against. So if it's election interference, they're stopping us from being protected. If it's your healthcare, they're trying to take it away from you. If it's climate change, they're making sure we don't do anything. If it's gun violence, they're making sure we don't have any reforms whatsoever. Like issue after issue after issue, they stand there to make sure that you are vulnerable to these threats, and that's it.
Hey, Democrats, I think they're so, look, you know what? Give like free membership or something, or just get anybody to watch the videos of the Young Turks that are actually politicians. I'm not kidding, okay? Because they don't know what they're doing at all. Why don't you do a press conference where you say federal background checks are ready to go? There's only 2 people blocking them, Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump. Okay, you say the rest of the massacres are not their fault. Okay, you find that controversial. I don't find it remotely controversial. But let's put out a marker. If they do not pass federal background checks, and you put out a giant poster, it's the biggest poster you've ever seen, that says 97% on it. 97% of Americans want this, and then put out a second giant poster of overwhelming majority of Republican voters that want it. Then put out a third giant check of the $50 million in bribes that the NRA gave to politicians, to the Republican Party in the last elections, or in 2016, right? And those are legalized bribes, campaign donations. Put out those 3 things and then say, if they don't pass it by the next massacre, can anyone really argue it isn't their fault? Okay, but no, the Democrats go, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. They're just not trying. Well, hey, you made it this far. You must really like the Young Turks. Thank you. We really appreciate you. Now, another easy way to keep supporting us also helps keep your internet activities and data private, all with a push of the NordVPN app. Head to nordvpn.com/TYT right now for 75% off of your next 3 years.